to my channel. If this is your first time here, then hello. So obviously not welcome back because you would have never been here before. Today we're doing an interesting experiment that I decided to give a go and see what would happen. As you will have seen from the thumbnail, we are playing with 0 defenders and 0 strikers. We're going to be using PSG because the way I see it is they are so far ahead in expectations for winning the league that we kind of had to, because I don't think any other team in any other league in Europe, bar maybe Celtic, are so far ahead of every other team in their division that you could even remotely consider them as being a possibility of being that dominant. PSG have won the league every season for, well, almost every season since 2012-13, bar that 2016-17 season, which was a bit mental. So that's 6 seasons out of the last 7 they've gone and won it. So, as I said, we decided to try PSG. As you will have seen in the thumbnail, I've already selected the formation we're going to be using, which is this. There's people still on international duty and on holiday and whatnot, so not everyone is available at the moment. Neymar is injured, so I think he's going to miss the start of the season, but this is how we've decided to line up. As I said, no defenders, 3 defensive midfielders, 4 players across the middle of the park, and then 3 in front of them. So it is like a 3-4-3, but far more compact. Far more compact. I've decided to go with a sweeper keeper on attack because lacking a defense, having a keeper that will get forward to like defend the defensive area is probably a good idea. I don't think Keylor Navas is the most suited goalkeeper to being an attack instruction, but yeah, I'm not making any signings. I think I set the director of football to do everything because I'm holidaying until the end of the season, so it's not going to be something that I'm going to be involved in doing anyway. But we've decided to go with Idrissa Gueye as a ball-winning midfielder. Marquinhos is going to be a half-back, so he's going to be the most defensive player in the entire team. He's going to drop in to play as a centre-back. And then we have Paredes, who's going to be a defensive midfielder. All the DMs, or the defensive midfielders, are on a defend instruction, and then in central midfield, or in the middle of the park, everyone is on support. So we have Di Maria on the left, Mbappe on the right, both as wingers on support. Verratti is going to be a deep lying playmaker on support, and Herrera is going to be a box to box midfielder, obviously on support. And then the 3 that are going to be leading the line, I guess you could say, we have Neymar and Draxler as shadow strikers on attack, and Sarabia as an attacking midfielder on attack. I've also disabled transfers in the first transfer window, so this is the team that will be playing until at least January. There is, it's the second and under 19. There is players that are probably not going to get too many games, I would imagine. Thiago Silva, being a centre back, probably not going to get an awful lot of first team football. Mounier, who can play right midfield and central midfield, probably will get a chance at some point. Choupo-Moting, I doubt he'll get any football, but he can play left midfield. Icardi is an out striker. I don't think he's going to get an awful lot of chances unless the assistant plays him as an attacking midfielder. He has no knowledge of being here, but he wants to play on the right of a 2-man attacking midfield partnership. Bernat, I'd say, is going to get a bit of opportunities because he can play that left midfield position. Sergio Rico is backup goalkeeper, yeah. Cavani, can't imagine he's going to get too much first team football. Again, can play attacking midfield. He's got all the attributes to do it, just doesn't have any familiarity. Kurzawa, Diallo, Kimpembe, none of them are going to get a chance. Thilo Kehrer could, in theory, get opportunities because he can play as a DM and a central midfielder. I'm not so sure he will. He's not the best player in the world. But that being said, this is the 11 I've selected. It's a random little experiment I decided. I was sitting down one day and I was like, what would happen if you didn't play any defenders or any attackers? So we'll get to find out how they. Well, I suppose we should probably look at the tactic that I've created. So we're playing very narrow. Not sure. I suppose because I guess it makes sense. Very narrow because we're going to be playing through the middle. There'll be no overlaps because we don't really have anyone to overlap. We haven't gone for any final third instructions apart from whipped crosses. The passing directness is just more direct, and I think because we're going to have such a short, there's not a whole lot of room to maneuver. I think Keylor Navas is going to have to pump it to the midfield because that's all we have. Marquinhos is going to be the player closest to him. We've decided to counter press, counter, distribute quickly, distribute to playmaker because no point in distributing to fullbacks or centre backs, and we're going to do take long kicks because lacking in defence. With the out of possession, we have gone for a much higher attacking line of engagement, much lower defensive line of engagement. Going to use the offside trap, use tight marking. I wanted to put the offside trap in because I wanted to see what would happen with no defence. How would the offside trap work? We're going to try and prevent short goalkeeper distribution with the two shadow strikers. I can't see that being a problem. And obviously get stuck in because that is my favourite. I love get stuck in. It is fantastic. The only weak points I can really see in this team is Paredes as the DM. I'm not so sure he'll do well there. Keylor Navas as a sweeper keeper on attack. I have faith that Keylor Navas can do it. Sarabia as an attacking midfield on attack. He's more of a winger. But then again, Neymar, winger / striker. But this is, just a standard 3-4-3, just compact, very, very compact. So we will be back in just a second with the end of season. See how we got on in the league and the Champions League and the cups and all that good stuff. We have a Champions League group stage draw to go through, the Trophy des Champions. So that'll be interesting to see how we get on in our first competitive game. It's also interesting to see because we have friendlies against Real Madrid and Osasuna, and Cologne. So we've 3 interesting games here. See how we get on. The Champions League should be interesting. See how we get on against bigger teams than PSG and some small teams. I'm curious to see. I would imagine the bigger teams are going to be quite difficult to break down or to beat. Not even break down, just beat in general. Smaller teams, maybe we'll still be able to overrun them because of the quality that we have. We still have Mbappe. You could probably play Mbappe as a centre back and he'd still be one of the best players in the league. So, as I said, we're going to jump forward to the end of the 2019-20 season and we see how we got on. Right, fellas. So, it is the end of the season, and as you can see, finished third in the league. Not ideal, not what you'd expect. Didn't have a single red card, which is interesting. But yeah, third in the league, 17 points behind Leon. We lost 10 games. Ooh. Did have 20 goal difference, which is not bad. Best player, Neymar got 31 goals and had a 7.41. Neymar is a shadow striker, clearly works. He also had 15 assists. Idrissa Gueye had 90% pass completion. Angel Di Maria had 6 player of the matches. Idrissa Gueye had 20 yellow cards, but no red cards. So, we did quite well. As you can see, manager performance. A D. The board are very disappointed with your leadership of the team. Interesting. Let's have a look at the tactic and see how it has come together. I can only imagine, because I said that 11 played when they were fit, so I can only imagine the mess. Yeah, it's a hot mess. I've never seen this many lines in such a small area. Interestingly, none of the attacking midfielders have any relationship between each other, but Verratti, Herrera, Paredes, Marquinhos and Idrissa Gueye all have many lines going between them. So every one of them has a yellow line between them, which is fairly decent partnership. Plenty of respect for roles. Roles assigned to both players are well suited to each individual. Well, that's important. That's good. Again, we have second team. I don't know why did I open the second team? I don't know. I think what I originally did was I had the under 19s, isn't it? Under 19s, under 18s, whatever. That youth team and PSG 2, in case something happened and they needed to bring players in to cover. But I have to say, this tactic, if you want, I can put it on the Steam Workshop. I probably will, just for shits and giggles, and see how many people download it. We have some interesting. So Verratti's unhappy at the sale of a player. Thiago Silva is retiring next year. Choupo-Moting is off to Saudi Arabia. Cavani is leaving on a free transfer. Okay, fair enough. I think that generally happens anyway. Mauro Icardi didn't play any games. Mauro Icardi didn't play a single game. What? Alright, so Keylor Navas played 51 games, which isn't terrible. 15... No, that's not... I looked at the wrong one. Non-competitive. He conceded 69 goals and kept 18 clean sheets. In 51 games. That's not great. He almost has 100 caps for Costa Rica though. That's pretty good. Julian Draxler and Sarabia both played 50 games. So everyone really, apart from Sergio Rico and Mauro Icardi, got opportunities to play. Kimpembe, Cavani and Thiago Silva didn't start a single game. James Forrest, however, from Celtic, paid nearly 30 million for him, and he played 7 games. What? Like, even Choupo-Moting started 12 games and scored 4 goals. That's not terrible. I would not have expected him to get that many appearances. Goals wise, we know Neymar scored 31 because we saw that in the first part of the screen. Sarabia scored 10 and Draxler scored 9. So the attacking midfielders really did get in on the goals. Surprisingly, Sarabia scored more than Draxler. Draxler being the shadow striker, I would have assumed would have done a little bit more, but okay. Di Maria and Mbappe next up again. Probably the most attacking of the support midfield 4. Herrera scored 4, and Choupo-Moting and Paredes. So, it's not terrible. Diallo picked up DM at some point, or was he always a DM? I don't remember. He got some game time, if nothing else. Well, he got a lot of game time. 16 starts, 19 substitute appearances. Assist wise, Neymar had 15, Di Maria with 11, Verratti with 5. Mbappe only got 2 assists. Only played 33 games, but he must have been injured at some point. Does he start this? No. What? Yeah, it's 2016. Why is a random 2016 injury here? So he spent 5 months out with a broken lower leg. Ooh. That definitely didn't help. Kylian Mbappe out for 5 months with a broken leg. That's not going to help. That's probably why the drop off was so severe in the league. Why they, well, not drop off, but why they finished third, because they didn't have Kylian Mbappe, and he only played 33 games out of the 51, I'm guessing, was available, because Sergio Rico didn't start a single game, so I'm guessing we played 51 games. I did set myself to become unsackable, because I wanted to see what would happen if they spent an entire season doing this tactic, and I was pretty confident that I was going to get sacked if I didn't make sure that we couldn't be sacked. So let's have a quick look at let's look at league form. See how we got on. So we started the season with a defeat to Reims, but then went on a nice unbeaten run, beat Montpellier, Strasbourg, Lille, Nice, Nantes, Rennes, Dijon, Brest, Bordeaux and Metz. But then got smashed by Marseille 6-1. Then beat Saint Etienne 4-0, lost to Monaco, beat Toulouse, Nimes and with a Verratti penalty. Choupo-Moting scored against Rennes. That's how you know Rennes are bad. They conceded to Choupo-Moting. Then we went and lost to Lyon, which I suppose, like I said, it does make sense that the big teams would be Reims beat us, but Marseille, Monaco, Lyon all managed to beat us, which, like I said, does make sense that we'd lose to the bigger teams, because the smaller teams would just probably sit back and defend anyway. Then we drew at Montpellier and Strasbourg, lost to Lille, drew at Nice, beat Nantes, lost to Rennes. So they figured out how to stop us, just stop the old PSG midfield. Definitely not going to get overrun in midfield anyway. That's one thing for certain with this tactic. Dijon beat them, then lost to Brest, Bordeaux, draw. So March wasn't great. Lost to Brest and Metz 5-0. Bordeaux and Marseille was a draw. Then April had started off with a draw against Saint Etienne, smashed Monaco 5-0. Then lost to Toulouse, beat Nimes. So it seems we're a really good home team, but terrible away from home. And then rounded out the season with a victory over lost to Lyon again, draw with Angers and beat Reims. Trophée de Champion, how do we get on? Beat Rennes in that 4-1. It's not bad. How do we get on the Champions League? Ooh. Okay, it's a lot less games than I expected. So we beat Genk, drew with Napoli, lost to Celtic again, beat Genk, and then lost to Napoli. So third, I would imagine, is where we finished. It was indeed, yes. So we beat Genk twice. Genk actually won a game, beat Celtic. Very good. So Celtic and Napoli went through in our group, and we went into the Europa League, which definitely not something I expected. Let's have a look at the Europa League. Knocked out by Standard Liège on away goals. Drew 1-1, drew 2-2 at home. Got knocked out on away goals. Fantastic. How do we get on the Coupe de France? Knocked out in the second round we were in by Saint Etienne. Not ideal. And the Coupe de la Ligue BKT beat Metz in the fourth round and then knocked out of the quarterfinal by Nantes. So it's all in all pretty poor season. Less than ideal. Right. It's not great. Team overview. To be fair, fourth best form in the final 5 games. It's not the worst. Average attendance, we were third, which, you know, we took 10 penalties and scored all of them. Get in. That's what you want to see. Every penalty converted. Headers won. I don't imagine we're going to be too high on this. No, left. 949 compared to Angers 1321. Yellow cards significantly higher than everyone else, although less fouls. Not the most fouls, which is a plus, I guess. Rest had 6 red cards. What the fuck? So, anything else interesting here? Goals, third highest with 68. 9 corner goals. Monaco scored 13 from corners. Cross completion, I can't imagine we're too high on this. No, we are not. 15%. Crosses completed, we're not last. 208. Alms had 181. Leon 345. Goals from direct free kicks, we had 3, equal with Leon. But for some reason we're not first, joint first, we're second. We scored 7 indirect free kicks, which is joint 4th. Pass completion, I'm surprised it's that low because everyone is so condensed in the middle. I would have imagined the numbers would have been a little bit higher, but okay, that was passes completed 13,455, which isn't, and our average possession was 47%. Passes completed, bottom, not by too much though. Our chances created, we had 111, second highest, which isn't too bad. Shots on target, we were 19th with 44%. Our shots on target ratio. Shots on target, we had 335, one more than Leon. So we should have won the league, basically. The conversion percentage, we had 8% conversion. Fouls against, people were kicking us. Dribbles per game, we were second with 16. Monaco didn't concede a single goal from a corner. That's fantastic. Well done. Average, no. Best average, no. Sellouts, we had 10 sellouts. We had the most sellouts in the entire league. So we were the highest spending team. So who else did we buy? Sweden. Alright, so we're selling a left back, which is fair enough because we don't use left backs anymore. We don't use defenders anymore. Bringing in this guy, a DM, makes sense. Patrick Arnaud. David Silva is coming in. I didn't see that. Ooh, that'd be interesting. And have him as that's spicy meatball. Choupo-Moting, as we know, is already off to Saudi Arabia, and nobody cares about that because what difference does it make to us? We signed Florent de Da Silva, who is an attacking midfielder. See, forward thinking. The director of football, smart lad, 17-year-old, came in, played one game, played one first team game, get in, 7 second team appearances, scored 4 goals. Why wasn't he in the team? Did we sell? And we did. Kurzawa, Kerrer, Mounier went to Villarreal. Did Mounier actually get games this season? He did. Played 20 times and scored 1 goal. And maybe so went to Liverpool, having not played a game for us this season. No. As you can see, we did play this formation the entire time. So it's not a case of like, I was like, come in, play one game, and I can't put that one. Okay, so, let's go to just a random game. I can't put you. I can look at the Nîmes game. So to be fair, I did okay, but I did pick a win. Tactically, it doesn't, or like average rating wise, it doesn't look terrible. It looks decent, to be fair. Choupo-Moting came off the bench. Kimpembe. If I was Kimpembe, I'd probably want to leave because we don't use any of his positions. So sorry about that, buddy. But yeah, that's what would happen if you played with 10 midfielders. Originally I did have a little bit of a different formation. It was a 5-man central midfield, with 2 DMs and 3 attacking midfielders, but I decided that this was a bit more mellow, should we say. It was a bit less mental. Don't think it's really worked because it's a bit mental anyway. But yeah, if you want, I can upload this onto the Steam Workshop. You can download it and see what you make of it. I do have a few position specific instructions that I added to it, just basically like tackle harder and pass shorter and stuff, or in some cases it was pass longer. But yeah, if you want, I can download it. I'll put it up on the Steam Workshop anyway, regardless, just for shits and giggles, see what people make of it, see if anyone actually downloads it, because I'm going to just call it 10 midfielders and see what happens. So if you have enjoyed this experiment, please do make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what other experiments would you like me to do, because this one was very interesting, because I didn't think that I was partly the reason I made myself unsackable was because I was partly expecting this to just completely fall apart and us to rock up and just it not work, basically. And it actually sort of worked. It wasn't the worst tactic I've ever seen. It's not the worst tactic I've ever created, and it kind of worked. Kinda didn't, but kinda did. But yeah, if you want to give it a go yourself, I will leave I'll put a card up maybe, or I'll do something. Probably I'll pin the comment with the name of what I'm after calling it, or you could just search the Steam Workshop with my name, Foggy Plays, and that way, bada bing, bada boom, it's in there, like swimwear. Salt Bay. Thank you very much for watching, fellas. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!